Hello, my friends. This is Mrs. Sandine with a new lesson. This lesson is geared towards second grade, and it's creating the colorful castle inspired by Mary Blair. Mary Blair was an American artist and a designer, and she worked for Disney. And you will be creating something like this. This is made with geometric shapes and with a pencil, and then painting it in. Now, students can actually, if you're going to do this at home, you can use markers, even crayons or color pencils. All right, so this is what the drawing looks like to start. And then this will be painted in or colored in, and then collage with papers. So I'm going to flip this over, and we are going to do this step by step. So you need a piece of paper. My paper is a little bit larger than 8.5 by 11, but if you're doing this at home, you can use any size. It doesn't matter. You do need is a ruler. If you have shapes at hand, you can use shapes. I don't have them at home right now, but I have a ruler and a pencil. That's what you need. So on the bottom of the paper, I am going to trace a line. I'm going to leave some space there. If you notice, I have the space of the ruler. I'm going to move this up. Space of the ruler and a little space down there for the pretend grass. And I am not tracing a line all the way across. I'm going to go from 1 and stop at 8 right there. It does not have to be that size, my friends, but you do need a straight line. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to create is a large rectangle with the letter R, which has 2 equal sides, they're shorter, and 2 equal sides, there are longer. So this is 6 inches. I'm going to go into 6 inches right here. And if you do not know how to use the ruler, it's okay, my friends. These are inches. These are centimeters. We're using the inches right now. And when I say, let's say 6, that means the longer line is where the 6 is. And the longer line is where the 1 is. If it's in the middle, then it's half. Okay, so I'm going to close this in, and I'm going to close my rectangle. So I have one rectangle. Does this look like a castle? Not really, but it will soon. Sorry, I have a scratchy throat today. So we're going to divide that large rectangle. It almost looks like a square actually, but it is a rectangle. It's a little bit off. We're going to divide this in 3 parts. So it's about 7 inches in length. So I'm going to do about 2 inches here. And then 7 minus 2 would be 5. 2 inches there. I'm going to do the same for the top. 2 inches here. And 7 minus 5 is, 7 minus 2 is 5. So then I'm going to connect my lines. Connect, and when you connect, it's because you have noted a measurement on the top, a measurement on the bottom. Okay, then I'm going to take this big rectangle. I have it now in how many parts? 3 parts, and I'm going to divide them again. So I'm going to divide about half of the height, which is about 6 inches in height. Half is 3 inches. Yep, we're doing math. And in art, you do a lot of math. You don't notice, but you do. Either you're counting, checking spaces, making repetitions as patterns. So there's a lot of math involved. Okay, so we have our basic structure. Is it still a class castle? No. Excuse me. But we're going to create 2 towers here. And I'm going to have is a triangle on the top. You can eyeball a triangle, but if you want a triangle to look like a triangle, look at the width, 2 inches in length. Half of that is 1 inch. So I put a little dot, the magic dot. Over here, 2 inches, half of that is 1 inch. Voila. Okay, why I did this? Because this is going to be the height of the triangle. So I want my triangle to be about, well, let's make it taller. Let's make it 3 inches. Oh yeah, 3 inches. Sorry, my husband is in the background and he has allergies also. So, all right. So I trace a long line It still doesn't look like a castle, but I'm going to connect these guys together. Boom, connect, boom, and connect. And if you notice, I am holding my ruler with one hand and the other hand traces. I hold them. Hold them in position. You are in charge of that ruler. That ruler shouldn't be moving. You hold it. So now, ooh, it's looking almost like a castle. So you can erase this unless you really want it there. Some people might want it. I don't want it. So I'm going to erase it. Okay, so I'm going to go over the steps we already did just in case you're a little behind. We created a large rectangle, right? I'm going to cover that. Then we divided the rectangle in 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. The middle bigger, the sides narrow. And then we divided them in half. So we have 6 boxes. They're not exactly the same, but we have 6. Then we made 2 triangles on the top. So that's 2 types of shapes. We have 3 types actually. Square, rectangle, triangle. Square, rectangle, triangle. Okay. All right. So now we're going to get a little creative. So now we can draw other lines, like a half of a circle. We can draw a little bubble right here. If we want a flag, we put a triangle like this that has a narrow corner. You see that? You see? And then I'm going to turn it over. And then you can add what you want. Of course, you need doors to get in. You need windows. Windows could be different shapes. You need decorations and other things. You want the roof to have like tiles. You want this little part here where usually in the movies, you know, they're looking from far away just in case the dragon comes. Yeah, you can do that on the top. And you can use your imagination. After you are done with drawing all the parts of the castle, all that you want, everything you want, then you're going to paint it in or color it in. Let me say it again. You can paint it in or color it in, okay? And then another step that we will have in the class, we will be cutting pieces of, let me get it here, scrapbook paper. Let me show you. Let me show you what I mean by scrapbook paper. So scrapbook paper are just pieces of paper. Like, for example, I have this piece of paper. And then the kids can, in the class, cut little shapes out of it. I'm going to just cut here so you can see. I'm going to cut this whole thing. Cutting on the lines. Have a plan in your head. Like, maybe you like circles a lot. You can cut circles. Maybe you like triangles. I don't know. So I'm going to just cut a piece out. Okay, so I have my little piece. I can glue it wherever I want. Let's say in the door. But if I want to become super creative, then I can cut them like in little triangles. And some of the scrapbook that either you purchase or I have actually in my class, what was going into my class, it has 2 sides. So you can take it here and let's say you want to glue it right there and glue it right there. So your drawing, after changing to be a painting, it can change again and turn into a collage. Say the word, collage, not college, collage. And collage is when you cut pieces of paper and you recreate a piece of art. Like you make it again, see? So I can glue these things everywhere. And then my painting turns into a collage, okay? All right, my friends. So to recap, you draw your basic shapes first. Rectangle, divide, half, half, triangle, triangle, and other things in your imagination. Add all the details that you want, then paint it in. Let me move this out. Paint it in, right? Or color it with crayons or markers, whichever you have in your own classroom, or if you have at home. And then a last step would be to just get pieces of paper, cut them into shapes, okay? Because we're learning about 2D shapes, which are from geometry. And then you can glue them wherever you want, in a pattern, wherever you want. All right? Thank you for watching, my friends. Adios.